I'm grateful to be reading the book of Acts and finishing off Paul's third missionary journey, where he takes off um, from the Ephesian leaders going to, well, pretty much making his way to Jerusalem, where he doesn't know if he's going to live once he gets down there because of the persecution from the Jews. And the reason why I'm grateful to be reading Paul's journeys is because, as believers, I go nothing that Paul has gone through. But I guess in the sense of a spiritual drought, a spiritual, lowness that we go through. You know, reading Paul's journey, Paul's testimony, and Paul's missionary stories have been very, very, very helpful in helping me to kind of get out of, I guess you can say, a rut that I'm in. And I would encourage all believers who feel as if there's no motivation to believe, no motivation, not to believe, but more so to strive in the faith, no motivation to read the Bible, to pray, just kind of feeling careless about your faith. Read Acts. Let Paul inspire you as he has for me. I'm at the part where, we all know. Acts chapter 20, Paul's telling the Ephesians, Paul says in verse 24 of chapter 20, "But I do not account my life of any value or as precious to me, if only I may finish my course in the ministry that I receive from the Lord Jesus, to testify to the gospel of the grace of God." Now, Paul says he wants to finish his race, the ministry that he received from Jesus, to testify about the grace of God. And as I think about my life according to this verse, again, I haven't been persecuted like Paul. I haven't been, I'm not Paul, but Paul encourages me, I guess, in a spiritual sense, right? To continue to run the race. As he's speaking to the elders, like, man, he's in Ephesians, he's saying, I've served you guys with humility, with tears, with trials that has happened before me. And as Paul is saying, be alert, stand fast, because there will be wolves coming for you guys. Even people from within your own church are going to come out and stir things up for you guys. But Paul says, I did not shrink back from declaring the whole counsel of God before you. And he's encouraging them, and he's saying, I have this ministry, I have this race that I'm running, and I'm going to finish it. And I don't know, and for me personally, in my context right now, spiritually, needed to hear something like that from Paul. I literally felt like this was, a pep talk, that I needed to finish my race, the ministry that I'm called for. It's not that I'm neglecting that, but it's more so I'm viewing it in terms of like being faithful to God, being faithful to the Word, being faithful in spite of my lack of motivation to pray, to read, to care, But Paul says, Kevin, I have a ministry that I need to fulfill, and you have one too. you have one too, and to fulfill that ministry, you have to walk with God. You have to be near God. And much needed verse, much needed stories. Acts was much needed for me in this time in my life right now. So I do not account my life of any value or precious to me. Wow. If only I may finish my course at the ministry that I received from the Lord Jesus to testify to the gospel of the grace of God. Never give up, right? Never give up.